Okay.
All right. Welcome to our inaugural Ming and Zenos YouTube channel.
Was that a mic?
YouTube video.
That was a mic drop?
Yes, pen drop. I'm gonna
You'll
turn
enjoy
this
the
on.
noise. Yes. Okay.
So we're gonna try to be completely spontaneous, no cutting, no edits
Yeah.
at all.
We're just going to basically cut off the first part, but yeah, no edits.
Okay. So I've set a timer of 20 minutes just because I have a Zoom call with a potential client.
Okay.
Yeah, in about like 22 minutes. So he's this guy who is based in the UK and is potentially interested in using Lens Advisor.
Nice. Okay. Well, tell our friends like what Lens Advisor is.
Yeah, we'll give a bit of context. I think that for future like episodes, this is going to be a bit of like a weekly check-in. You know, we'll sort of like give each other updates on how we're doing on our various like undertakings.
Yep. Sounds good.
While sort of like sharing it with an audience there. So I have a sunglasses brand called Rocket Eyewear, and we're based in Singapore, where most of us need prescription lenses. And so last year during COVID, when a lot of people stopped wearing sunglasses, at least a lot of people stopped traveling and therefore needed fewer pairs of sunglasses, I decided to sort of like pivot towards selling blue light blocking glasses and prescription, and when you sell glasses, a lot of people need prescription lenses, and there wasn't really a nice way on my website to sell the prescription lenses. And I had seen like, some really nice brands and their really smooth, slick prescription checkout processes. And around the time my good buddy Z here had a bit of, I guess, more time on his hands.
Yep.
You can talk about that. That would be another whole episode.
Yeah, that's a whole episode for sure.
So yeah, I roped in Z, and together we built a Shopify app called Lens Advisor that helps eyewear stores sell prescription lenses, and that has turned into its own nice little business too.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about how good it's going or how it's going?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Are you comfortable sharing like pretty openly?
Yeah.
About this?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
So we've been doing this just over a year. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Since we launched the app publicly.
I think we launched last September, so it's been 12 months exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're now at the point where we're making between $7,000 and $8,000 a month recurring revenue. That's increasing, $500 to $1,000 a month right now as well. And so it's just like been a steady kind of march forward. We've been building lots of features and whatnot as well. The big problem we face right now is we need to increase the speed of development, get more features, then get more users on board. And that's been kind of our next challenge forward.
Yeah, it's a really great problem to have. But I think what we're learning is that like good developers are really hard to find.
And really expensive.
And really expensive. So that I think is... Yeah, I thought we could also just talk a bit about like our priorities, right? Like I think that is big on our list of things to find, right? I mean,
yes. And so we're at the point where we're profitable, and now we're going to go back into not being profitable by hiring a full-time developer. But it's actually quite a big, exciting step because it means that this app can be entirely self-sufficient, and this one developer we'll hire should be able to do most things. Yeah. And we might require some outside help, and of course me and you will help it. But man, it's been an interesting journey because we've spent so much time, we put in so much into it, and we haven't taken a single dollar. So
yeah, Z and I are hoping that the day we hit, or the month that we hit 10K in monthly recurring revenue, we'll each have a ribeye at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Courtesy of Lens Advisor.
Courtesy of Lens Advisor. And I can't wait for the day. I mean,
I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah.
I mean, you're going off on a trip.
Yes.
I'm going off on a trip, but you're going off on a trip too. So I guess maybe it'll be in Jan 2022.
I think so. And I think that ties in about right for when we should see $10,000. Yeah. So it'll be a nice like post-Christmas kind of meal for us.
Yeah, nice way to kickstart 2022.
Yes.
What else are you I guess I'll also just say, I mean, in terms of my sunglasses brand, today we hit our, well, yeah, it's our 4th birthday. So it's
Wow,
kind of crazy.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We began, like I launched on September 23rd, 2017. And so, yeah, it's crazy milestone. I mean, this is the longest thing that I've ever done. And it's...
Has it been awesomely rewarding, or has it been awesomely frustrating? Both, like.
Yeah, I think frustrating and rewarding. You know, I think one of the things that I do get a little frustrated with sometimes is just that, like, having well, the most amazing thing about it is that you know, from Singapore we can sell, like, with social media and shipping and all this, and how connected the world is today. It's amazing that the majority of our customers are outside of the country. That's really cool to be able to sort of, you know, deliver, like, impact lives, I guess, around the world. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But there are limitations, you know, like being in a country like Singapore, like shipping anywhere outside is expensive. So it's hard to, like, offer the same types of, like, return policies that maybe a US-based sunglasses company could. And the scale, we're talking about different scale, right? Like,
Yeah.
Singapore, there's a population of 4 million, and the US, I think, is almost 100 times that. So,
Yeah, actually, this is the typical nut to crack for Southeast Asia, where you have this US market and the startups start there or brands start there, and they have a broad market to get into. But Singapore brands, for instance, they have a very small market to get into, and then the idea always is that you can expand across Southeast Asia. But
not that easy, actually.
yeah, it's not, right?
Because, actually, surprisingly, this is something I only learned from e-commerce, is that, like, the world is not actually, like, there's lots of duties and taxes when you send things across different countries. So for that reason, for example, like, I couldn't send anything to Indonesia or Vietnam, or, I mean, even people in Thailand have to pay, you know, and I completely avoid, like, the EU. Because,
really?
Yeah, because, like, VAT is so high, and duties and everything.
How would you eventually get around that? Is it simply like quantity, shipping a container to the EU or something?
You pay one shot, you send it there, and then you can ship domestically.
Got it.
But I don't have, like, we're not big enough. I don't have, like, a fulfillment facility in the EU.
Right.
But yeah.
Is this what, like, a 3PL is for? Is
Yeah.
that the name of it?
Yeah.
And why not use them? Is it just also just cost?
So this is if any entrepreneurs watching this, if you want to start a business, you could consider creating an eyewear 3PL. 3PL is a third-party logistics provider, people who, like, ship items on behalf of brands. And difficulty with eyewear is that it's quite a temperamental product. The material is susceptible to changes in heat and humidity, and, like, you know, if you really want, I mean, fit is so key for eyewear, and
Right.
like, you want to make sure that at least when you pack it, it is, you know, the temples are even, you know, it's symmetrical, and if you don't, like, pay attention to those things, I think your return rates will be pretty high.
So I have a question. Since we've been doing this,
Yeah.
like, Lens Advisor for a while, are there not lens labs that can just, like, do this for you, and they could be the third-party logistics provider?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think that in the future, that's what's gonna. I think you're gonna, hopefully through Lens Advisor too, you and I will, like, come across some and, you know, develop relationships with, like, some labs that are very, like, you know, forward-thinking and progressive, because, like, that would be progressive, haha. No, but, like, because yeah, that'd be amazing for a lot of brands. I think that for a lot of brands that it's just a bit nerve-wracking to outsource it to a lab, just because the lab needs to be dedicated to, like, packing it nicely as well. There's still a big difference between, like, B2B, the B2B mindset and the B2C mindset. Like,
Right.
B2C is, like, you got to be a perfectionist, you know, because but B2B is, you know, they know that if the lab delivers it back to the glasses shop, the lab knows that the optometrist is going to make it perfect before giving it to the customer.
Right.
So that's still a bit of a mindset, like, change.
Got it.
Wait, just being mindful of time. Oh, cool. We still have 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay. That's not
So,
too bad.
Z, tell me, you're also a. This is so facetious, not facetious. It's funny because Z is my best friend. I know I almost a lot about him, but for the sake of this call, you like electric vehicles.
I do. Yes.
One brand in particular, the
Particularly one
Nissan
brand.
Leaf.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Yeah. I am really deep into Tesla. So like I consume way too much like news about Tesla. Actually, I think it's more just like Elon Musk's companies and kind of the way he's doing management and driving innovation, the pace of change. And I'm constantly surprised about how quickly these companies are driving innovation forward. And I think it's one of the spaces, or one of the only ways that we can like have really outsized gains, that if you innovate in some new way. In fact, we're doing that with Lens Advisor right now. We're making it so much easier for companies, for brands to sell their glasses online, that they're then able to earn more money. And as a side benefit, we are. But Tesla, of course, is on like a completely different level. And so I've basically put all of my money into Tesla.
Oh, pretty much, right?
Pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm building houses in the US as a small construction company, and then everything else is Tesla. So it's pretty scary in a way, and this is also why I'm following it so much. I have a really high degree of conviction that Tesla is going to outperform over the next 10 years. And because I have that conviction, it's hard for me to invest in many other things. And so I'm going to put all of my money there. So I think the thing that you want to get to, and we probably need to cover on an episode, is that I put in about $160,000 into Tesla, and then turned that into around $800,000 today, over the course of like the pandemic and where the market was going crazy for a while there. And I happened to get very lucky, but I was also, I developed a high degree of conviction that this company was going to be a game changer for the world. And because of that, I was able to put basically a huge chunk of my savings into what was a somewhat risky bet, and it's paid off like just hugely. So we can go over that one day, like how I started dipping my toes in, and then one day I was just like, nope, everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll do a video also talking about how you ended up with 160K in the first place too.
Yes.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, but so just sort of giving a brief description of Zenos and I mean, at least for the sake of this YouTube channel, we run we sort of we juggle several different projects, but I think that the majority of our focus is I have this eyewear brand, and Z and I do this Lens Advisor app together.
And we have a Tesla fund together.
We have a Tesla fund. That's more on the for me. I think one thing that we've spent the last year learning as well is the importance of investing. Yeah. And when you do end up with sort of something that can generate cash, what do you do with that cash, right?
Yeah.
And so that's so I think it's this channel that we'd be doing, I guess, would be a combination of like entrepreneurship, e-commerce, and investing.
Yeah, I think
these
so.
three themes. I mean, that's been my life for the last 2 years. I mean, 4 years basically.
Yeah, and I think so. It's the thing that drives me the most. It's building companies, building things that create value, taking that value and then investing in it to generate more value along the way, and actually over a long period of time. Because it's so incredibly important in life to be able to have that kind of security. Because without it, then you just have to work a job. But how can you change from just going to work every day to either starting your own company and then earning enough from building that company or your side hustle or even the job and turning that into wealth generating assets or things that earn more money. And that's been, I think, our journey over the last 1.5 and 2 years is what do we build that generates money, and how do we invest so that we, well, don't lose it, but actually grow it. And I'd love to talk deeply about some of those things. Yeah.
I also think that being able to, work very sort of like on a very microcosmic level on the operations of Lens Advisor, but also to sort of like take a back seat, not a back seat, but to look on a broader like macro level when you're investing. It's a nice balance. It keeps us, I think, like it helps us maintain a sense of like well-roundedness. Otherwise, you have blinders on and you're just thinking about one thing.
Yeah, very true.
So it's been a lot of fun.
We're also doing some other things. Do you want to touch on that briefly?
Pagelet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I don't know. I mean, speaking for both of us, I'll say for myself, like I've absolutely loved this sort of foray into building software for e-commerce companies, especially when the inspiration stems from a personal experience or a perceived pain point. And so we're also doing something within email, and it's still very early days. So today we just met with our designer. We just finalized at least version 1 of what it'll be, and we're about to speak with our developers which we don't have.
Yes.
No. I mean, we still have an outsourced development team, but we're gonna hopefully work with them to kickstart development on it. I don't think that we're gonna be. I mean, at least in my mind, like I don't think we're going to become like a Shopify development house with tens of apps. I think.
No, and I also don't want to be that, right? I'd love to care for something I really care about.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of just like trying to earn as much money off of as many apps as we possibly can create.
Yeah. And so I think that at least my hope and dream is that like we will have Lens Advisor and Pagelet, and that's we just make them as best as they can be. Mm-hmm. Lens Advisor. The reason why we're doing something else in addition to Lens Advisor is also because Lens Advisor is purpose built for the eyewear category, and there are only about it's kind of funny, but like I think right now there are only about say 700 online eyewear stores on Shopify that could use our app. So the market size is very small. We've built a solution targeted at a specific customer, but for that, you need and we're very optimistic about how it'll turn out in the long run, but we also wanted to take a stab at something in a bigger sort of a bigger market, more applicable to more stores. So, that's
I think it's going to be a really fun app to create. I hope it makes money.
Yeah. Let me just do a quick check on time. Okay.
Yeah.
1 minute, 45 seconds left.
But I think that's enough for like episode 1.
Yeah.
I think a good way to wrap up this first episode is just kind of to look at the things we're working on together and then separate. So you have.
I have Rocket Eyewear. That's
right.
my own thing.
Right. Then we have Lens Advisor, Pagelet. Together, then investing in Tesla, and kind of a lot of investment strategies and stuff. We talk about them every single week, all the time. We can share some of those with you as we go through. And then on my side, I'm doing a construction company in the U.S., and I'm also in a helping capacity doing a media company with my girlfriend. We can maybe talk about some of those things at some point. And then I'm board member of C Founders, but these things don't take a lot of my time. The bulk of my time, I'd say 95% is Lens Advisor and investing with you. And then Pagelet will take a huge part of that going forward. So yeah, this is where we can talk about business, investing, and making money. I think it's probably the thing that pulls those things together.
Hopefully the businesses make money.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a wrap for episode 1. We will be here again probably.
Yeah, we're going to try to do this every week.
Yeah. even when you're traveling on the road,
yeah,
we'll try and
just
do
do
some
Zoom calls or something.
Yeah, it might be tough for me on my trip, but actually we may still be able to get it done. It's not a big time commitment.
20 minutes, yeah.
So you'll see us again. You know, if you're somehow watching this video, which we don't expect almost anybody to watch this.
Whoops.
Time up. So we don't expect that many people to watch this, but if you do watch this video, please like it and maybe comment below what you want us to cover in a future episode. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, friends.
Bye.